All right, so what we're looking at right now is Raiderz. Raiderz is an action-based, free-to-play monster hunting MMORPG. Now, what that means with the action is that it's non-targeting gameplay. It's not tab to target and spam attacks until the guy's dead. It's actual real-time combat, which you're going to see right here. You have to aim, you have to duck, dive, dodge, and duck, and actually be able to deploy your skills effectively to defeat these monsters. And when I mentioned monster hunting style gameplay, the core gameplay of Raiderz revolves around hunting the big, the epic monsters. There's the smaller mobs that you're seeing here that'll get you sort of prepared for combat. They drop loot, they drop some other little things, and we'll see some more later. But the core of the gameplay revolves around the major, the big, the epic monsters, and that's where you're going to get your best stuff. So, in addition to that, in terms of Monster Hunter style gameplay, is like the game Monster Hunter, where you kill these enemies, they'll drop a piece of themselves, whether it's a piece of gear, a weapon, a crafting item, or something like that, and you'll use that to craft that weapon, or to actually wield their weapon, or get a temporary status buff, maybe a health recovery, something like that. So as you're defeating these monsters, they're giving you this loot that's going to help you kind of scale up and defeat the bigger and better guys. And you actually see it on your character. If it's a weapon or piece of gear, you can use it right away. If it's a buff, it's automatically deployed, and it always keeps your gameplay evolving, changing, getting bigger, and getting better, and it's a lot of fun. So we are in a scenario right here that we put together just for PAX, and once you kill all these little chumps, you're going to see a boss spawn. Cool thing about the bosses is that they're all very unique. There's a lot of them. They just wander the open world. The vast majority of Raiderz gameplay just takes place in the open world. There are instances, but all the normal questing, all the MMO social features like that, all take place in the open world. So these boss and these epic monsters, they're just out wandering. So when you get the quest, or when you have to go kill one of them, it's up to you to go hunt them down, either by yourself or with your party. Find them and take them on right there. So there we have one of the first bosses is the giant frog. Very nice. So of course, each one of these big monsters has their own weak spot that you have to identify. They have their own unique attack pattern. They have their own style of attack, their own strengths and weaknesses. Some of them are susceptible to different types of damage, whether it's just straight up melee damage, ranged magic attacks, or anything like that. Different types of elements. A lot of different things go into fighting these big monsters. Now, one of the coolest things about Raiderz is that it's a truly class-free system. What I mean by that is, when you start the game, you'll choose one of 4 base jobs, and that'll be the defender, the berserker, the cleric, or the sorcerer. And those sort of fulfill your basic MMO tropes, like the defender is your tank, the berserker is your DPS, cleric is your healer, and the sorcerer deals your magic damage and is the ranged character. However, once you start leveling up and you start earning skill points, you can put your skill points into the skills of other classes. And once you hit level 10, you open up the ability to do that. So if you want to be a tank that has healing abilities, you can do that. If you want to be a DPS that has ranged elemental attacks, you can do that as well. You can really refine your character to your style of gameplay. Now, we really encourage team-based monster hunting in this game. We don't force any parties, because no one likes forced partying, but if you can get a team together that all have the supplemental type of skills that can help each other out, it'll really fulfill the gameplay experience. It'll make it a lot of fun. You guys will get some great drops, and it's a really good way. In our opinion, it's the best way to go about the game. Now, it is totally free to play. What we're aiming to do in this is blow people away with the amount of content that's going to be available for free. Good job, you killed it right there. You went into a pack. Nice. So that was the first boss that you killed. What I want to do now is I'm going to log you into a different account and show you what I was talking about earlier. That is you'll be able to pick up a weapon on the spot and be able to use it right there. Let me switch it out. And while I'm doing this, if you guys have any questions, throw them out.
How do you deal? You said you can train abilities from other classes.
Right.
How are you approaching the balance?
Exactly. the thing is skill. You get a finite amount of skill points. So each time you level up, you get a skill point, and even though you're not penalized for, say, you're a berserker class, you're not penalized for putting a skill point in the cleric, but it is a sacrifice, right? Because you're putting that point in something else, not your normal berserker class. So the job you take at the beginning, that'll be sort of your base strength throughout the whole game, but you can sort of diversify your gameplay as you go on, based on what you want to do. And yeah, select that one. Just go ahead and hit connect. Now, where she's going right now, she's going to an area called Broken Mass. It's a fairly early part of the game. And let's get you on a mount. Go ahead and hit 9. And you'll mount up, and we'll get you over to the beach so you can kill some of these cool enemies. This is a nice looking mount right there. Yeah, oh, right over here. So you'll see, you see the ship right there? Go to the beach kind of to the right of it, right there. You'll pass some minis, but they're not going to be too aggressive. They'll be all right. The great thing about Raiderz is that it doesn't, from when you start the game, it doesn't take a long time for you to get into the action. You get mounts fairly early on. You start hitting bosses really early. So the goal is to really engage players right off the bat. We're not going to force them through this long, grindy session to start enjoying the game. Players are going to start feeling powerful and start feeling good about their characters very early on. So let's go to the beach. There's 2 types of enemies down there, both of which have a unique drop. And I mentioned earlier that you're going to kill these bosses, take their stuff that they drop and use it against them. Additionally, if you hop off your mounts, if you hit, there you go. So right now, your class right now, you're the sorcerer, right? If you hit tab, and the sorcerer wields that, hit tab one more time, and left click. So you're wielding that staff, right? So that's gonna give you a lot of your magic spells, healing powers, and stuff like that. Now, if you hit tab 2 more times, you're going to equip the Defender's weapon set. The Defender has the shield and the single-handed sword. So you also get to equip weapons of the other classes too. Now, not all skills are able to be deployed with different weapons. So what you can do, you can have up to 3 different skill trays, and you can bind a skill tray to a different weapon. So if you, so as soon as you deploy, say the Cleric's staff, you'll have that skill tray come up. And then if you want to deploy the Defender's weapon set, you can have that skill tray immediately come up. Because the game's all about adapting to your environment. So if you know you're about to face an enemy that you want to use a different type of weapon on, you can switch on the fly. Absolutely. With switching weapons, no. No, you can do it as much as you want to. There's no cooldown at all. So, you're a sorcerer, right? Or you're the cleric. Go kill that guy. Now that guy, the weapon he's wielding is a big 2-handed club, which would normally be reserved for a berserker class, but you can go over to it and hit E, and now you're wielding it. So you have it, and now go hit that guy, and you're going to see how your combat changes immediately, right? So you've inherited you inherited the traits of this weapon. Your skill tray has actually changed down there. So when you have your own weapon, you have your normal skills, but when you pick up a dropped weapon, you inherit the the abilities of that weapon. So you kind of immediately became a big berserker class just by picking up the weapon. Now monsters not only do they drop weapons like that one, but you also killed the crab, which dropped that right there as a piece of his shell, which is a health recovery. They're temporary. They're time duration. So you'll see little icons up here. That'll show you various things such as the duration of the weapon that you have equipped, any sort of status buffs or debuffs. There are enemies and monsters like this spider monster that'll poison you as a debuff, and you'll see the duration, how long it's going to last up there.
It's like the guy while you're wielding it, or waiting for it to get out.
While you're wielding it. Yeah, short amount of time. There you go. So you see the big range. So in this few minutes of gameplay, she's been able to wield the 2-handed blunt force weapon. She's been able to deal element damage like this. She has the Defender's weapon set also. So very, very dynamic gameplay that changes a lot throughout the game as you play. So that's how it always stays fresh, and you're never bored. We're not trying to pigeonhole players into using the class that they pick at the very beginning. We want them to really feel like their gameplay is engaging and it's fun, and they're always kind of it's always changing and it's always staying fresh for them. Now let's go to one more spot when you're done with that guy. Let's do the other mount. Hit 0. show you this dude real quick. I like him. He's a nice one. Perfect. So just go straight. If you hit M, you'll bring up the map. And we're going to go right over to this area right here. And we're going to show you what is pretty much the first boss in the game. Now, the reason I want to show you this as the first boss, follow that trail right up here. So while we're going through here, this area is called Broken Mass, and this is where you get introduced to all your, your social MMO abilities. This is a fully fledged, fully fleshed out MMO. It has everything: the crafting, enchanting, auction house, trading, guilds, party, group system, all that type of stuff is all within here. And go ahead, I'm sorry. PvP, absolutely. Absolutely PvP. It's dual PvP, so you'd have to go up to someone, basically say you want to fight them, and they would say yes or no. It's not a PvP server where you go up and you just start banging on someone, but it's absolutely in there. So we're going through this guy, and sort of to your 11 o'clock is where you're going to see this boss in a second, this big stone golem. There he is right there. So all the bosses are products of their environment too. So you see we're in this kind of like stone marble coliseum area, and you're going to see the look and the feel of this boss is definitely a reflection on that. He wields that big column that he uses for the close quarters melee. He has some dynamic attacks, like he can pick you up and slam you into the ground. And this is actually the first boss you see in the game. Raiderz is not easy. It's really meant to kick your ass, and that ties into how you are able to set up your skills however you want, so you're the most comfortable and confident as you can be in these battles. Also, like I said earlier, it encourages group play. But what you're not going to be doing is like spamming chat and being like LFG healer over and over again, because chances are you might have some healing spells. Someone else might have some healing spells, even though they're not a healer. You know, you might have two guys that are berserkers, but helping each other out, doing these monster hunts on different levels. So you're slightly overpowered right now to where you would be normally in the game to face this monster, but you'll see the amount of damage he's able to do to you. You see, he took quite a bit right there. Now, what's great about this enemy is that even though he deals a lot of damage, if you can hit him back a couple times, pieces of him will start falling off. Pieces of his armor will actually start falling off. And behind him over there, you can see like his little shin guard. And that, if you can make it over to that is a full health regen. So if you can, last long enough, hit shift to dodge. I should have told you that a while ago before you started getting beat up on. Shift and in any direction. Sorry. Yeah, while you're moving, shift. Perfect. There you go. So right here you can see the fast pace, like the fast paced, the action style combat right here. You're not targeting. You'll see those two little orbs around the character right there. That means that she has a temporary status buff on her elemental skills, on her fire and her ice. And again, you can see those up here. So whenever there's any sort of temporary thing, you'll see the status up there. And there you go, you take it down. And of course, you'll get all of the drops that go along with it. You take those to the crafters. There's NPCs that will make the different foods, add different recipes. There's a weapon crafter, gear crafter. You can really set yourself up. There's a lot of different ways to do it in this game.
Are there a lot of bosses throughout all the zones?
Yes. Yeah, definitely. So in this little area, there are three main bosses in this area. That would be the first one that you're going to see right there. If you had the quest, then you would see the second and the third ones. They're all unique attack patterns. They are all difficult. They're all meant to be difficult. We're not afraid to beat up on the players, but we wanted to make it fair for them and fun for them, and we feel that this really reflects that style of gameplay.
And what's the party size?
8. So you can have up to 8 right now is the max party.
And dungeons and raids?
8 also. There will be more raid content in the future that will increase the party size, most likely up to at least 16 to start, but that'll be getting closer to the end of the close and the open beta. Right now we're focusing on the core gameplay, making sure the players are having fun right away, making sure it's polished, and as you can see, it's polished very well at such an early alpha build of it. Of course, you gotta dance. We just finished up a really short run alpha and exclusive alpha. That's where we started getting a lot of our user feedback, started gathering a lot of the data, and we're going to apply what we learned from that to the closed beta, which will be coming up very soon as well. In the open beta, scheduled to release in 2012. We don't have a release date yet, but open beta will definitely be 2012. And what you see right there, you saw a little icon pop up. So there's some combos. So if you're able to deploy some of your skills, you'll have a chance at a combo. And if you hit the button while it's still in there, you can do an additional hit for some more damage.
Are there ways to, is there a way that you can set up combos?
No. No, it's just if you, it's the magic classes. Those are the ones that have the combos. The melee classes like the defender and the berserker. Their system is slightly different. Good, very nice. So is it, yeah, the guild. Yeah, full guild system, which will be developed more as the time goes on. We didn't have it open for the alpha, but we should have it open for the closed beta.
And where can people sign up for?
We don't have any signups yet. You would talk to Christine. She would be the one to set you up for that. Yeah, definitely. But we want to. We're ramping up for it soon. So if you're interested, definitely talk to her and she'll set you up. Great. That's the long and short of everything. Talking about Raiderz. If you guys have any questions, let me know.